We define our sector, digital place-based advertising, as digitally networked screens that exist where people dwell, that has programming, content, and advertising. And it's essentially all video. Well, the beauty is people see all of these screens as they go about their daily lives. The screens that you see in the gyms, in the elevators, in the office buildings, in airlines, in airports, the screens that exist in malls, the screens that exist in restaurants and bars. All of these screens are our sector, and we work, basically a lot of the excitement now is as television is becoming very changing, and it's dynamically changing as we see with millennials leaving television. TV is no longer tethered to the living room, and that's not where the viewing is going on anymore. People are going over the top, and yet at the same time, we know that television and video advertising is still the most potent form of messaging for brands and advertising agencies. So we offer video in this new day and age where the viewership is changing and people are out more about than ever. So we reach people in their daily lives, and in addition, we're reaching them as they're about to make a product decision or they're thinking about a brand decision-making process that's occurring. Well, in sizing the industry, we're shy of $1 billion ad industry at the moment, and the audience is really the same consumers that we talk about, because everybody's out and about, they're out and about more, and they're not consuming the traditional media, especially in video, as much as they once did. Nielsen measures our significant businesses and delivers demos, so we understand the demos and the impressions, and we've set at the Digital Place-Based Ad Association, we're responsible for setting guidelines and standards that all research companies utilize. So we've developed, and Nielsen utilizes this, the ability to understand how many people may be in an area, how many people are in front of a screen, and then the actual viewership to the screen. And we are in systems in the agencies and the planning systems, and depending on the demo, advertisers buy our networks. And of course, if they're seeking a more upscale audience, we have Captivate, which is in the elevator buildings throughout the country. In terms of also similar, maybe business traveler, Clear Channel Airport's a member, CNN Airport's a member. We have in the malls a prolific space that covers a lot of malls, a company like AdSpace. Company Zoom actually covers all of the gyms in the country, or essentially a majority of the gyms in the country, with their messaging there. And the beauty of all this is that it's also dwell time. So say in a gym, people may be there for 30 minutes or so in front of that screen.
And what about programmatic or custom delivery? You know, like the Tom Cruise movie where you sort of a video is delivered to
right.
Someone in particular. Where do we stand in terms of kind of addressable, if you will, or how finite can it become in terms of targeting?
There's a lot going on right now in the space on that. Some companies are connecting with mobile opportunities where they can actually retarget after, say, someone's left the elevator. They can then retarget on mobile the same ad, and from the mobile, there's a great understanding of who that audience is, so that can be very targeted. Taxis have receipts and also a very good understanding of what to put on the screen. Gas stations, also you're doing a credit card, so there's a lot of addressability going on now where we know a lot about the customer in addition to the Nielsen numbers. And programmatic is becoming also very potent in our area. A company called VucuNet has been able to gather together many of the impressions in a programmatic fashion, more automated and data infused, and then delivering it to agencies. The creative is 15s or 30s, largely 15s. Most of it is the same 15s that are used on television, as advertisers understand they have to extend the reach of their advertising on television. At times it's tweaked, at times it's created for the medium, and also at times, because we engage and activate mobile, and mobile engages and activates us, there's messaging that can call out. You know, you may be in a mall and you're walking by a big screen, but your phone may be in your pocket or your pocketbook. So some of the special creative actually calls that out, which is, once again, and helps extend the reach. What's interesting too is how it extends the reach. We always know that television has a minority of people making up of a majority of the viewership. So we extend the reach with a video message, and also we've seen on online video. Online video, Nielsen recently came out and said about 20% of the viewers account for over 90% of the viewing impressions for video online. So once again, we extend that. And what's also interesting is that we don't really have any of the fraud issues that we're seeing on the internet now, or the viewability issues. Our viewability is that It's the whole screen, 100% of the time above the fold, and we're all offering closed systems, so there's none of the fraud issues that we've seen.
And finally, Barry, are there any really cool new technologies for displaying this content? You know, we see new things that are, you know, in New York, I don't know how new they are, but we see certain things like on cabs or subway entrances. What's happening in terms of some cool delivery display technologies?
Well, a delivery is similar to television, that you're getting video and it's in a programming video context, and the content is very good, by the way. So in taxis there's NBC content, there's ABC content, in the gyms we have health content, in the restaurants there's some great videos and video jukeboxes that surround the advertising. And some of these screens, especially in the restaurants, are now becoming interactive. A lot are interacting with mobile. And they're just big, beautiful screens in a very omnipresent fashion. For instance, one of our members has great 4K screens in the Delta airline lounges, not to mention also throughout the airport and the back of the seats. So the technology continues to change. Some of it's interactive, most of it's very engaging, and it's reaching people where they are.